86a. Holding a little behind, so try to catch up a bit. We're holding Tanu Rabbanan. Tanu Rabbanan, it's about 5 lines, 6 lines after the Mishnah. It says, Pileta Shech V'zer B'yem HaShlishi Tahira, Divrei Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Pileta Shech V'zera is not the man that has a mission, but it's the discharge of the Shech V'zera after it was already in the woman that comes out of the woman. That the woman becomes tamei as if it would be a man that has a discharge, like as if she becomes a balkari. So how long does it last? So Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah holds that on the 3rd day she's tar already. Now, Rashi explains this, that Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah holds that really only 2 einos is how long that the zera would last. He explains like this. Let's say they have relations on Thursday, and the discharge of the zera is on Shabbos. So according to Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, it doesn't matter if it was Wednesday night, which is Thursday. That would be that it was there.
I'm sorry to bother, but someone's asking for the password to get onto the Zoom, and I don't know it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know what the password is either. Let me see. Invite.
Moshe, it's 527-319-516.
1 second.
And then there's a password that follows that's 014262.
014262. Okay, let's go. Sorry, I passed it off.
Second, I'll put this in the thing if it allows me to. Okay. So it doesn't matter if it would be four complete einos, which means Wednesday night, because they had relations at the beginning of Thursday, which is Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday night, and Friday, and they went to the mikveh Friday night. Or it doesn't matter if it was they had relations Thursday before dark, which means right before Friday begins, and then it was they have only Friday night and which is Thursday night, Lel Shishi, Thursday night and Friday, which means that it's only 2 einos. Now, let me clarify. The term eina is a day or a night. That's an eina. That's the terms that we're going to be using here. So Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah says it goes by the day, that on the 3rd day. So it's really, you count the day of the relations and you count the day that it's tar is as the 3rd. So there's really only 1 day in the middle that would be the day that you have to wait for it. Okay, Rabbi Shmuel Eimer Pamshem Dalarayins Pamshei Heyanis Pamshem Vavaynis. Rabbi Shmuel holds that if it's discharged on the 3rd day, she's tamei. It's only on the 4th day that she's tar. So Rabbi Shmuel adds an extra day to this. It's still not working with hours. It's still not working with the exact einos. It's working by days, according to both Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah and Rabbi Shmuel. The question is 2 days or 3 days. And Rabbi Akiva Eimer Loilam Hey. It's always 5 einos. And it actually works with hours as well. So that means if the relations was a little bit into 1 eina, then you wait that amount of time on the 6th eina. Okay. So 5 einos is going to be so it's 60 hours. Does that make sense? It takes 60 hours, according to Rabbi Akiva. That's an easy way of looking at it. 60 hours. Okay. He's the only one that has the hours. Everyone else has the days, and then any time during that day, which doesn't give me an exact hour. Amru Rabbanan Kamei Rav Papa Vamila Rav Papa L'Rava. The Rabbanan said to Rav Papa, or in front of Rav Papa, and some say that Rav Papa said to Rava. Rav Papa is a student of Rava. Bishlam the Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah Rabbanan Damri Behei Avid Prisha, Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yossi Damri Bedalad Avid Prisha, El Rabbi Kiva Kaman. Okay, this discussion here is jumping ahead of what's going on. 1 second, let me get rid of that. Oh boy. You want to help out, Eliezer? I don't know what else to do. You have any idea? Give me 1 second. Okay. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves over here because the Gemara is expecting us to know the Gemara on the next daf. There's a discussion when the Jewish people received the Torah, they had to be pure. So in order for the women to be pure, the men could go to the mikveh, but according for the women to be pure, if the women had relations, so it takes time for the zera to become, to be srucha, to rat. So if they would have gone to the mikveh and the zera is still there, so after the mikveh they could become tamei if it's discharged. So that's a bit of a problem. So they had to wait a certain amount of time in between relations and the giving of the Torah. So how long was that? So that's a machlekes between the Rabbanan and Rabbi Yossi. So
where do they find this huge mikveh to all go to in the middle of the desert?
I saw somewhere that the cloud was the mikveh, but I think we mentioned that the well of Miriam. The problem is I don't think they had the well of Miriam yet. When did they get the well of Miriam? That was after the giving of the Torah.
Not within the first week.
No, Mara. Mara was before.
Oh,
they got
right,
the well
right.
of Miriam before. So it could be one of those, whatever. Vayu Elima. No, that was earlier. That wouldn't have worked. Okay, so the Gemara says like this. If Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah holds like the Rabbanan, that means the Rabbanan said that they had to separate on Thursday from their wives. So then the Torah, everyone holds the Torah was given on Shabbos. So that's perfect. Thursday night and Friday would have been the two einos that, so it's Thursday is 1 day, Friday and Shabbos is the 3 days that's already Tahar. Fine. Rabbi Shmuel will hold like Rabbi Yossi. Rabbi Shmuel says you need 3 days. So they separated not on Thursday, but they separated on Wednesday. So you have the separation of Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and it's already Tahar after that. It's the 4th day. On Shabbos would have been perfectly Tahar. Ela Rabbi Akiva Kaman. But who does Rabbi Akiva go like? In other words, we're going to have machlekes between the Rabbanan and Rabbi Yossi, what day they separated from their wives. Was it a Wednesday or a Thursday? Everyone holds the Torah was given on Shabbos. That's not a question. We're going to see that the machlekes has to do with what day Rosh Chodesh was. It was Rosh Chodesh Sunday or Monday. So is that the machlekes? Rosh Chodesh was Sunday or Monday? Yeah. Yeah, that's the machlekes. Okay, so who does Rabbi Akiva go like? So the Gemara answers, Le'olam Rabbi Yossi. He goes like Rabbi Yossi. That means they separated on a Wednesday. And Kida Amar Rav Ada Barava, Moshe Bashkama Allah, Bashkama Yarad. Okay, let's work this out. On a Wednesday, Moshe tells them that they have to separate. So they separate Wednesday by day. Wednesday, because Moshe tells them in the morning that they have to separate. So they separate Wednesday morning, Wednesday night, Thursday day, Thursday night, and Friday day is 5. And then they go to the mikveh. It's perfect. Those 5 items, they went to the mikveh Friday night. So, but how do you know that they had Wednesday day as part of this? The only way this could work is if Moshe went up very early in the morning and came down very early. Came down very early in the morning from the mount. He went up, he speaks to God, and comes back down and he tells us that God says to separate. So the Ksiv, as it says, Vayashki Moshe Babeker Vayal Har Sinai. It says that Moshe woke up early in the morning and he went up to Mount Sinai. Bashkam Yarad, and he came down in the morning. The Ksiv Lechred Valisa Atavar Nimach Makashiri de Laliyah. We're going to compare the going up the mountain to coming down the mountain. Ma'aliyah Bashkam Afyida Bashkam. So if Moshe comes down the mountain Wednesday morning, he tells them what to do. They're already clean by Friday night and they can use the mikveh. The Gemara asks, he really had to tell it to them early in the morning. Anyways, Rav Huna says that the Jewish people don't have relations by day, so they were anyways pure the whole day. He doesn't have to tell them in the morning. There wouldn't have been anyone that this would have been relevant to all day. Gemara says, Rava, it's not so. Rava says that if the house is dark, then they could have had relations during the day. But Rav also says, that Talmud Chacham, that's more tznius, I guess, would darken the room and he can have relations even during the day if the room is dark. The Gemara says, but oh, it's a very interesting question. What happens here is that if they go to the mikveh Friday night, so a tvul yaim is someone that needs to wait for sunset. So if they went to the mikveh after sunset, then they're a long tvul yaim. They have to wait to the following sunset. If they went to the mikveh Friday afternoon, fine. But if they went to the mikveh Friday evening, then they have to wait till after the sun sets on on Shabbos afternoon. And so the Torah was given to Tvul Yaim. So Abaya Baravin, Rab Chanina Baravin, Damit Abaya Nitna Torah Tvul Yaim. Don't worry about that. But Tvul Yaim is someone that went to the mikveh and has to wait for sunset to become perfectly pure. So here also the Jewish people went to the mikveh, the women at least, went to the mikveh Friday evening, but the sun didn't set. Sunset before that. So they when the Torah was given Shabbos morning, they were still waiting for the sunset of Shabbos evening to become pure. The Torah was given to them while they were still in that middle stage of purity, called Tvul Yaim. Yosef Merema Rekamalala Shmaiter. Merema was sitting and he was saying over this discussion. Amale Ravina Lila Merema Nitna Karmat or Ru'uya Karmat. See, his question is like this. They could have gone to the mikveh Friday afternoon. And they would have waited for Friday evening and the sun sets and they're pure. The only problem is there could have been those individuals that had relations and the zera was discharged after they went to the mikveh from the woman. It's discharged from the woman. After the woman went to the mikveh, and that invalidates the mikveh that she had gone earlier prior. So she would need to go again. So when it says nitna ter l'tfula yom, does it mean that everyone went to the mikveh earlier Friday afternoon? And if it would have happened, there was a discharge after, they would have gone to the mikveh, and yes, there would have been tfula yom, because they would have had to go to the mikveh that evening, and then there was no sunset till the following day. Or do we say that it was potentially tfula yom, but it turns out that actually there was no tfula yom there because everyone had gone to the mikveh earlier and no one had a discharge after that. So that's his question. Ru'uya kamina, nitna kamret or ru'uya kamret? Was it actually the case, or was that potentially the case? Amalei ru'uya kamina. Says that was potentially the case. They went to the mikveh before, and it didn't happen that anyone was peletes, had a discharge after that. So the Gemara asks, "V'litabli beni shimshi v'likal b'Torah beni shimshi." Interesting question. Why couldn't they receive the Torah at night? If they're already all pure, so they went to the mikveh. So that evening, right at Friday night, Kabbalah Shabbos l'chadaydi, they could have received the Torah. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak loy mireish b'seiser dibarti. Loy b'seiser dibarti. This is a pasuk that says that God didn't speak in concealment. It means he didn't give the Torah in the dark. The Gemara says, well, if this is the case, the Torah was given in the morning. L'tavlu b'tzafra d'shabbat, v'l'kabel Torah b'tzafra d'shabbat. Why did we have to start this whole cycle of Moshe going up Wednesday morning early, coming down early, in order to get all of this to happen? To be prepared for Friday night, to be able to receive the Torah, when in actuality, they're only receiving the Torah Shabbos morning. You could have extended this all by an extra 12 hours, and it would have been fine. So they could have gone to the mikveh Shabbos morning and be prepared. So Rabbi Yitzchak, this looks like a regular shtibel. He didn't want it to be that some of them are going to get the Torah, and some of them are still coming out of the mikveh. That wouldn't have been appropriate. He wanted everyone get the mikveh done already the night before. Then everyone's going to go to receive the Torah. Okay. He didn't want the towels over the shoulder at the Kabbalah Torah. Amar Rabbi Chia bar Rav and Amar Rabbi Yechanan Zudiv Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Chia bar Rabba says the name of Rabbi Yechanan that this is the opinion of Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Akiva. The Chachamim say that you actually need 6 einis shleimus. We didn't have that before. We had 5 einis from Rabbi Akiva, which was 60 hours. The Chacham say you need 72 hours. If that's the case, then I don't need the answer that we just gave before, that Hashem doesn't speak in the dark. If I need 72 hours, then I have to anyways wait for Shabbos morning to receive the Torah, because I'm waiting from Wednesday morning to Thursday morning. It's 24. To Friday morning, it's 48. To Shabbos morning, 72. So So I don't need that. I don't need that answer that we just said that Hashem doesn't speak in the dark. Works out from Wednesday morning to Shabbos morning is the 72 hours. That's when they. The only thing is, according to that, they would have used the mikveh Shabbos morning. I don't have that. Some people are going to receive the Torah, and some people are going to the mikveh problem. I have to accept that fact that's what's happening. Some people are using the mikveh when everyone's running to receive the Torah. Amar Rav Chizda, machlekes shepirshim min isha. This discussion is all a discussion about how long the tumah lasts of the zera that's in a woman. Aval pirshim min ish, but the zera that comes out of a man, it's the same zera, just it didn't wait in a woman. Tmeya kozman shilecha. Then it's not about 72 hours or 60 hours or all of this. As long as it's still moist, it's going to be tummy. As it doesn't lose its, viability. Masav Rav Sheshes. Rav Sheshes has a question. It says, "V'chal beged v'chal ara she'yolav shechozera prat l'shechozera shisrucha." Does any garment or leather that has on it shechvazera will be tamei, and this is excluding shechvazera that rotted. My love shapir sheminish. You see, even if it's moist, but if it's rotted, that means a certain amount of time would make it go bad, and it's not tamei. Gemara says that's not a raya. It's talking about that it came out of a woman. Boy, Rav Papa has a question. Shechvazer shal yisrael b'meikutis mahu. Yeah, it's not giving us the background to the story, but I guess it's pretty obvious. A Jewish man lives with a non-Jewish woman. A kutis, it says here, and then it's discharged from the kutis, from this non-Jewish woman, after a certain amount of time. Do we say that it's the same amount of time that we were discussing before? That's machlekes Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Kiva and Rabbanan, when it's in a non-Jewish woman. In other words, is a non-Jewish woman's body the same as a Jewish woman's body? Yisrael, the digi b'mitzvahs chaval gufayo. A Jewish person is always concerned about doing the mitzvahs, so they have anxiety. They're always stressed out. So it's going to rot. The zera is going to rot in 72 hours or 60 hours or whatever the opinion is. But akam d'leidigiv mitzvahs, they don't have the same anxiety, the same stress. So it's not going to rot. It's going to last longer. Or maybe because they eat these creeping creatures, so the body gets warmed, and it will rot the same way. In other words, the same temperature of the Jewish body that happens because of the stress happens to them because of the diet that they have. If you'll say that by a non-Jew it's the same because of what they eat, so what about the mei behema, mahu? Do we say the same thing applies if a Jewish man has relations with an animal, and then it's discharged from the animal? Will the zera then have the same amount of time that for the tumah, for it to be tameh? Isha, this they praise their masrechas. Apparently, there's more of a entrance area before it goes into the uterus in a woman than there is in an animal. Aval behemoth Leslie praised there. It doesn't have that entrance area, so it won't be the same. Maybe that doesn't matter. That entrance area, I don't know if it means the cervix or something, doesn't have that. Or maybe it doesn't matter if it has it or not. Okay. Teku. The Gemara is not concerned about answering those questions. It just leaves it as let this be left alone. Okay. Tanu Rabbanan. Starting in the Brisa. B'shishi b'chaydesh nitna aseres adibris liYisrael. Torah was given on the 6th of the month. That means 6th of the month of Nisan. Rabbi Yossi says no, it was given on the 7th. So for us, it works out. We have 2 days Shavuos, the 6th and 7th. But I don't think Shavuos is going to matter. The question is when the Torah was given originally. Rabbi Yossi, okay, Amar Rava. Rava explains what's happening. The Kuli Alma Breish Chedesh Asalim Midbar Sinai. Everyone says that on Reish Chedesh Sivan they came to Midbar Sinai. Ksiv Hacha B'Yayim Hazeh Bo Midbar Sinai. Ksiv Hasam Achedesh Zelachem Reish Chadashim. It says on this day you came to Midbar Sinai. Another pasuk says on this day is the first of the month. To Mala Halan Reish Chedesh Afkan Reish Chedesh. In other words, it says B'Yayim Hazeh, and that tells me that the B'Yayim Hazeh tells me that it was the first day of the month. Just like when it said Achedesh Zelachem was Rosh Chodesh Nisan, so also B'Yayim Hazeh is the first day of the month. It's a Gzeir Shav of Hazeh. With the Kuli Alma b'Shabbos Nitna Torah Yisrael, and everyone holds that the Torah was given on Shabbos. Now the only question is, where do I put Rosh Chodesh? Do I put Rosh Chodesh on Sunday? Or do I put Rosh Chodesh on Monday? They came to Midbar Sinai on Rosh Chodesh, and everyone holds that there's only one movable variable here, and that is what day of the week was Rosh Chodesh. So Ksiv Hacha Zachar Siyem Shabbos Lekadshe Ksiv Hasam V'Yem Meishalem Zachar Siyem Azeh Amal Alam B'Tzim Mishal Yem Afkan B'Tzim Mishal Yem. We also know that the Torah was given on Shabbos because it says remember the Shabbos day, and it says remember this day that you left Egypt. So when you say remember the Shabbos, we're actually talking that it was on Shabbos, just like when we said remember the day that you left Egypt was on the day that they left Egypt. So that when it says remember the Shabbos, it's talking about that it was on Shabbos as well. Okay. So we know that the Torah was given on Shabbos. Ki pligi bekiva diyarcha, bekviya diyarcha. The whole machleka says what day Rosh Chodesh was, what day of the week. Rabbi Yossi saver bechad b'Shabbos ikviyarcha. Rabbi Yossi holds that Rosh Chodesh was Sunday. Bechad b'Shabbos layam eluhu v'leimidi. Now we're going through the verses there when the Torah was given. It says Moshe went up the mountain and he came down the mountain. He told the people to surround the mountain, or to separate. So on Sunday, he doesn't say anything. They arrived on Sunday, that's Rosh Chodesh, and there's no discussion with the people about any command from God. Mishum chol shadorcha, the people are tired from the travel. Betrayed b'Shabbat, that means Monday. Amalu vatem tioli mamlachas kayanim. He tells them that you are this a nation of priests. On the third day, he tells them, this is Tuesday, he tells them that they have to separate from the mountain. And on Wednesday, he tells them that they should separate from their wives, so that they should be ready to receive the Torah in purity. Rabbanan Savri, the Rabbanan hold, betray b'Shabbat v'yarcha, that Rosh Chodesh was on Monday. So we have the same story, that betray b'Shabbat layamalav leimidi. On Monday, he doesn't tell them anything because mishum chol shadorcha, because they're tired. He's not going to start giving them a shir. They just traveled. Betlas amalu vatem tioli. On Tuesday is when he starts telling them that you're a nation of priests. Barbam lo mitzvah bala. On Wednesday, he tells them to separate from the mountain. And Behei, Avad Prish, on Thursday, he has them separate from their wives. So they have the rest of Thursday to become pure, and Friday to become pure. Okay. Meisvei, the Gemara has a question. You should sanctify yourselves today and tomorrow. This works well, only according to the opinions that says that they separated only for 2 days, not according to Rabbi Yossi that says they needed 3 days. according to Rabbi Yosi, they separated on Wednesday. That's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's not Hayom Machar. Hayom would be Wednesday, and Machar would be Thursday. And then they're going to receive the Torah Friday morning. They receive the Torah on Shabbos. There's an extra day, a full day that's extra. So this is a kasha in Rabbi Yosi. Amalach Rabbi Yosi Yom Echad Haisef Moshe Midaitai.
Where did Rabbanan get that the whole thing started on a Monday?
I'm not sure if there's a source for that. It's just because that's the movable part that we can adjust. We know the Torah was given on Shabbos.
So they worked their way backwards.
They're working backwards from Shabbos. So, according to Rabbi Yosi, Moshe added an extra day. Obviously, Hashem agreed. Tanya was taught in a brisa. Moshe did three things on his own initiative, and Hashem agreed. The first one is he added an extra day before the giving of the Torah. He delayed the giving of the Torah by 1 day.
And our Rabbanan don't agree to that.
According to the Rabbanan, all of this started a day later.
No, but they don't agree that Moshe Rabbeinu added a day. I mean, there's a time.
What we're going to do? Oh, with this brisa.
Yeah.
I guess this brisa would be the brisa that of Rabbi Yosi. It's the Rabbanan and Rabbi Yosi are early. So, Pirish Manisha, he separated from his wife. And Veshiver Saluchas, and he broke the tablets. All of these are things that Moshe did on his own, but Hashem agreed. So, Haisef Yemechad Midaita, my Darish. Where did he know? Where did he learn this from that he should do this? So it says, Hayom Machar, Hayom Kimachar. It says you should separate today and tomorrow. You should sanctify yourselves today and tomorrow. Now, today is like tomorrow. What does that mean? Ma lemachar laila imai, afayim laila imai. He says, look, on Wednesday, in the middle of learning. What do you want? You want the chair? Give me 1 second. Sit over here. Bring it. Oh, you want this chair over here? Sit next to me. Okay. So he says today and tomorrow. See, when he says today, he's talking about Wednesday, but Wednesday doesn't have a Tuesday night that's attached to it. Thursday has a Wednesday night that's attached to it. In other words, let's say like the Jewish calendar day always starts at night. So when he says today and tomorrow, then he's going to have today and tomorrow very different, because today is starting in the morning and tomorrow is starting at the Jewish calendar day, which starts in the evening. So he says it can't work like this. So it needs to be today should be similar to tomorrow. That just like tomorrow starts in the evening and goes throughout the whole day. So today has to start in the evening, go throughout the whole day. Because it was Wednesday in the morning, so he says it must be today means Thursday. So it can start on Wednesday night, which is the beginning of Thursday. B'layla de'idna nafkale, we already don't have the evening if it would start on Wednesday. So it must be that I need 2 days besides for Wednesday, which was in the middle of the day. That means an entire Thursday and an entire Friday. How do you know that Hashem agreed? Because the Shekhinah didn't come until Shabbos morning. That's an obvious answer. We know that it's Shabbos because it says Zachar. Okay. The next thing that we said there were three things here that Moshe initiated and Hashem agreed. Pirish Minei Isha, my Darish, where do we get this from that he separated? And then Hashem agrees. And how did Moshe Rabbeinu know to do this? It says, Nasa Kal V'Chaymer B'Atzmei. He did a Kal V'Chaymer. He made a Kal V'Chaymer. Amar, Uma Yisrael Shlei Dibra Shchinei Ma Melashachas V'Kavalem Zman. When it comes to the Jewish people, Hashem spoke to them once. He said a designated time in Amr Tervei and Chayim Al Tikshu. It says that you should be prepared. You shouldn't come close to a woman, that's referring to 3 days before and all of that. So, Ani, when it comes to me, this is Moshe talking. Shekol Shav Shechina Medaberes me, that the Shechina speaks to me every hour. Any Kabeli's mind doesn't give me an appointment. It's at any moment, I have to be always ready. Alachas Kama Kama, for sure I should always be ready. Minalan Dehiskim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Al Yadei. How do you know that Hashem agreed? Because it says after the giving of the Torah, everyone should go back to their tents. And it says, but you should stay with me. Okay? Some say because it says they spoke to him face to face. Okay. Taisus over here is concerned about how did it come out that Miriam spoke Lashon Hara about Moshe if Hashem agreed? This is what Hashem said. If this was what Moshe did on his own initiative, then we understand. It says, look what Moshe is doing. He left his wife, and all. But it's Hashem agreed. So, the way Taisus works it out is that it was now when they realized that that even though Hashem agreed, but it was Moshe's initiative. The Lashon Hara was that Moshe initiated this.
Do we know what day was Yitzias Mitzrayim?
That's going to be a discussion in the next Amud.
Oh.
In the next Amud, we're going to discuss that. But let me just tell you. The 13th of Nisan was either a Thursday or a Friday. I'm sorry. The 15th of Nisan was either a Thursday or a Friday, depending on if you follow the Seder Eilam or the Mechilta. Yeah. Think about it like this. Yud Nisan was a Shabbos. Remember the Shabbos Agadol was they took the animal, they tied it to their post, and all of that. That was on the Shabbos. Yeah. Okay. The third thing that Moshe Rabbeinu did was Shibra Saluches, my Darish. Where did he get that from to do that? Amar, he says, when it comes to the Korban Pesach, it says that a non-Jew shouldn't eat from it. So, HaTorah Kula Kan V'Yisrael Mumrim Malachas Kama V'Kama. Here we have the whole Torah, not just the Korban Pesach. And the Jewish people are mumrim. What's the word mumrim? Are reneging. Are leaving the laws. So for sure they shouldn't have it. And we know in this HaKadosh Baruch Hu Al Yadei. How do you know that Hashem agreed? It says Shneimar Asher Shibarta, that he broke it from a Reish Lakish Yashikayach Shibarta. Hashem agreed. He said Yashikayach should have strength, that he broke the luchas. Tashma, stored in a brayso. Quotes the pasuk that you should be ready for the third day. It's a problem according to Rabbi Yosi. Not ready for the third day. According to Rabbi Yosi, you should be ready for the fourth day, because the third day they're still tummy according to Rabbi Yosi. Kasha le Rabbi Yosi. So Gemara says that's not a kasha. We already said Moshe Rabbeinu added a day That was what Hashem originally said, but afterwards Hashem agreed to the extra day. Tashma. I can put it over here. It says Shlishi, when it says in the pasuk the third day, it's referring to Shlishi b'Chodesh, Shlishi b'Shabbos. It says the third day means the third day of the month, and it's also a Tuesday, third day of the week. Kasha l'Rabbanan, this doesn't fit according to the Rabbanan, because according to the Rabbanan, the third day of the month was a Wednesday, not a Tuesday, because Rosh Chodesh was on a Monday. Amlach Rabbanan Hamani Rabbi Yosi. That's how we're going to have to answer this. I'm going to say, don't ask me a kasha. The Bryce is Rabbi Yosi. This is self-referencing. This is Rabbi Yosi's opinion, this Bryce. When it says, when he said Shlishi, Liyayma Shlishi, Shlishi Lamai, what does it mean? The third day. Third day to what? To what counting? Look at the Tanya. It was taught in the Brisa, Vayoshev Moshe Divrei Amal Hashem. Moshe Rabbeinu returns to Hashem and he says what the people said, that the people agreed. Vayagad Moshe Divrei Amal Hashem. And it says that Moshe told Hashem what the people said. Ma Amalei HaKadosh Baruch Hu Moshe. One second. You have to take this somewhere else because it's too much noise. All right? You want to go to the couch? Yeah. You take it to the couch because it's too much noise. You have to take it to the couch because it's too much noise. So, what did Hashem say to Moshe? Mala Moshe Yisrael. What did Moshe say over to the Jewish people? Ma Amr Yisrael Moshe. What did the Jewish people respond to Moshe? Ma Hashem Moshe Lefnei Agvura. And what did Moshe say back to Hashem? This whole conversation. Hashem to Moshe, Moshe to the Jews back respond, and then Moshe returns the response back to Hashem. Zumitzvah Hagbala. This on the third day, on the Tuesday, according to Rabbi Yosi, he told them that they should go away from the mountain. Yeah, but this is.
I'm gonna try and not really stir, but just make sure.
Divrei Rabbi Yosi Bar Yehuda. That's what Rabbi Yosi Bar Yehuda says. Rabbi says Betchila Pirish Einsha. First, he said the punishment. Diksiv Vayoshev Moshe. When it says Vayoshev Moshe, what is the Vayoshev? Dvarim Shemeshav bin Daite Shaladam. I think Meshav means like shocking. Vayoshev Moshe means that he told them things that would shock them. That means the punishment, the harsh things. And at the end he says the reward. When it says Vayaged, that's the Dvarim Shemeshiv bin Shaladam Ka'agada. The Vayaged, usually we translate it the opposite, as we'll do in a minute. But over here, Vayaged means that he told them things that would draw their hearts like Agada draws the heart. V'ikad Amri, some say, B'tchila Pirish Matan Tzcharon, it's exactly the opposite. First, Moshe Rabbeinu told the Jewish people the rewards. Vayoshev Moshe, Moshe returns. That means, what does it mean? Vayoshev Dvarim Shemeshiv and Daite Shaladam. Things that are relaxing, they're settling. Well, besides Pirish in the end, he says the punishments, the opposite. Things that are harsh, like Gidim, which is a very bitter herb. And that is what he said afterwards. So first he drew them close, and then he tells them what the punishments are going to be. Tashma, come and listen. So Shishi, the 6th, Shishi b'Chodesh, Shishi b'Shabbos. It's the 6th of the month, and it's also the 6th of the week, which is a Friday. Kasha l'Rabbanan. It's a kasha to the Rabbanan. The Rabbanan say that Monday was Rosh Chodesh. That means Friday was only the 5th. Gemara says Hanami Rabbi Yossi. That the Brisa you just quoted is the opinion of Rabbi Yossi. Shishilamai, when he said it's 6, to what counting is it referring to? Rava Amar Lachani Yasan. It says the 6th from their camping. Because they came to Midbar Sinai and Rosh Chodesh. So it's referring to the 6th of the month, which is the 6th of Shabbos, which is the 6th of from the camping. Rav Acha bar Yaakov Amar Lemasan. Rav Acha bar Yaakov says also to the traveling, because on the day that they arrived, that's also the day they left from the previous location, which was Refidim. V'kamiflagi b'Shabbos demara, and they're arguing about the following discussion about Shabbos and Mara. So this is a machlekes Rav Acha bar Yaakov and Rava. If when it says the 6th, which we happen to know is the 6th of the month, according to Rabbi Yossi, and it's also the 6th, it's also Friday, but when it says the 6th, it's also referring to the 6th day from when they can't, either from the camp or from the traveling. Okay. The Ksiv, Kashetzivcha Hashem Alekecha. It says, as Hashem commanded you. It says this regarding Shabbos and Aser Sadibris. From Rabbi Yehuda Marav, Kashetzivcha b'Mara. As I commanded you already previously in Mara. Mar Savar Shabbos Ifkud Atchumen La Yifkud. Mar Savar Atchumen Nami Yifkud. The question is, were they allowed to travel on Shabbos before the Torah was given? So they were already heard about the mitzvah of Shabbos and Mara. Did they know that the laws were they told already that they can't travel extra on Shabbos? Okay, so let me just lower this. Okay, Tashema. Nisan Shabo Nisan Shabayatsu Yisrael Mitzrayim Ba'arba Asar Shachtu Pischayim. The Nisan that the Jewish people left Egypt on the 14th, they shechted the Karban Pesach. B'Chamisha Asar Yatsu. On the 15th, they left. It's 15th in the morning. Erev, and the night in between is Lakul B'Chayris. It says Le'erev Sal Kedaitach. It sounds like it's the night after. So Ella mi ba'erev Lakul B'Chayris. It's from the night before. V'Isayem Chamisha B'Shabbos. See Reb Chaim. That day was a Thursday. Now, Mida Chamisar B'Nisan Chamisha B'Shabbos. If the 15th of Nisan is a Thursday, so then Reish Yarcha De'iyar Shabbata. From Nasan, you have to work this out. That would mean that Rosh Chodesh Iyar is going to be on a Shabbos. Now, the way this works is that if the 15th of Iyar if 15th of Nisan is a Thursday, Shabbos is going to be the 17th. The following Shabbos is going to be the 24th. Right? Now, if there's 30 days in the month,
It says there was
Nisan.
30.
So then the first of Iyar is going to be on Shabbos.
It says there was 30.
Who says there were Thursday? There were 30. That's the way it's working.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I actually just had this conversation with someone on show yesterday.
Yeah. The Gemara is going to explain that. The Gemara is going to spell it out. So what happens over here? The Gemara is going to spell that out. That's going to come out that there's going to be 30 days in Iyar as well, which will make Rosh Chodesh Sivan on a Sunday. You see, because if you count the day, what is it? 28 days later is going to be exactly the same day of the week. So if the first is on a Shabbos, 29 days is going to be a Shabbos. Well, it's 28, but it's the 29th of the month is going to be a Shabbos. So the 30th.
Where's Avram Nassim Roth here? Come on.
The 30th is really going to be Sunday.
Yes.
If it's going to be full. That's going to be a problem. Let's see.
And ordinarily, there's no reason that there should be two straight 30-day months.
Right. So Reish Yarchad the Sivan is Chad b'Shabbos. So you see, Rosh Chodesh is on a Sunday. Kasha l'Rabbanan. The Kasha l'Rabbanan said Rosh Chodesh was Monday. So Amalach Rabbanan Iyar de Yishate Abure Avrui. Says that Iyar of that year was a leap month, and so therefore was an extra day. So therefore it had 30 days. So then what's going to come out is Rosh Chodesh is not on a Sunday. Rosh Chodesh is on a Monday. It's 2 in a row. That's how the Rabbana will learn this. Okay, Tashema. The Layavru Nisan Sheba Yatsa Yisrael Mitzrayim. We have a brisa that says that it was not an extra, that it's loya brua, that it was not an extra day. The loya brua. And now it goes like this. Nisan Sheba Yatsi Yisrael Mitzrayim Ba'arbas Shechta Pischayim on the 14th they shechta the Korban Pesach. B'chamisha Yatsu on the 15th they left. Erev Laku B'cheiros. And on the evening, was the plague of the firstborn. L'erev Salkadaitach, that evening after the 15th. No, Aleima Mi Ba'erev. It was from the evening before. Laku B'cheiros. Mi Ba'erev Laku B'cheiros. V'isayim Chamishi B'Shabbos. And that day was a Thursday. The day they left. Hishlim Nisan. Nisan is finished. The Iyar Liyas B'Shabbos. And Iyar begins on a Shabbos. That's how we had it as well. Iyar, the first of Iyar would be a Shabbos. Chaser Iyar. Iyar is only 29 days. The Iyar Sivan Liyas B'Echad B'Shabbos. And Sivan is on the first of the month. We said 29 days later would be exactly the same day of the week. So if the first of the month is on a Shabbos, the 29th is going to be on a Shabbos. That means the following day, which is Rosh Chodesh, is a Sunday. Kasha l'Rabbanan. It's a kasha to the Rabbanan. The Gemara says, Hamani Rabbi Yosi. That's not a problem. This is Rabbi Yosi as well. Rabbi Yosi holds that. Okay. Should we go a jump further? Just see. Let's do one more piece. Amar Rav Papa says, Tashima, come and listen. Vayisu me'elim, vayavoyu kol hadas b'nei Yisrael. they left Elim. Elim was the oasis that they had. And all the people came. Was that Elim or was that... And all the congregation of Israel came to the wilderness of Sinai, which is between Elim and Sinai on the 15th day of the second month. So, which the Gemara says, on the 15th day of Iyar. And that day was Shabbos. It says in the morning you'll see the honor of Hashem. This was when they were complaining about the man. And the Sunday is on the Sunday is when the month started to come. Because it says 6 days you should gather it. That means it was started on a Sunday. The 15th of Iyar is a Shabbos. So Reish Yarcha the Sivan is Chad b'Shabbos. That means if the 15th is a Shabbos, so that works out that the 29th is going to be Shabbos as well. Right? It would go, Shabbos would be 1, 8, 15, 22, 29. That's how it would work out. The 29th would be Shabbos, which would mean that Rosh Chodesh Sivan is a Sunday. So Kasha l'Rabbanan, it's a Kasha l'Rabbanan, so Rosh Chodesh is on a Monday. Amlach Rabbanan would say Iyar de'ishaite buri avrua. That Iyar was 30 days, which makes Rosh Chodesh on a Monday. Okay, let's leave it right there.